Hey guys, what's up? It's Connor from Dragon Rider Network, and I am back from my vacation here today to do a features overview of the brand new operating system, macOS 10 Lion. This was released a little over a week ago, and I thought I would be in a great place right now that I had just gotten ScreenFlow and macOS 10 Lion, to do a features overview of some of my favorite applications and some of my good changes that came across in macOS 10 Lion. So anyway, let's get started. Alright, so starting out with new features in macOS 10 Lion, the very first, which is definitely my all-time favorite feature so far, would definitely have to be macOS 10 Lion Launchpad. This is where you can bring up a display with all of your applications that you have running on your Mac, just like you can in iOS on an iPhone, an iPod Touch, and an iPad. And as you can see, with the dock and all the applications, it definitely looks a whole lot like it would in iOS. And that's really what I believe Apple really tried to do with macOS 10 Lion. No longer will it be just an operating system that works on your computer, but it's really going to end up bridging the gap between desktop devices and mobile devices such as your iPhone and iPad. And this feature definitely does a really great way of explaining it, or demonstrating it. And basically what you do is you just either take two fingers on the trackpad, or you can take your mouse and scroll between them. Let me go to the other side. And you can see all your applications right there, all right for you. And what's really cool is that when you actually hold an application, the ones with the X by them will actually highlight, like down here in Games. The ones that have an X by them will actually highlight, so that way you can know that you got them from the Mac App Store, and the way of deleting them is just by clicking that little X. However, if you did not install them from the Mac App Store, then the real way to actually do it from then is to manually uninstall it. And it's not really that hard, but you know what? Apple could have done a bit of a way of uninstalling applications a little bit easier, but in this case, I have to say they did it a very good way for the very first time of doing it. Alright, so the next big feature in macOS 10 Lion would definitely be mission control. So basically how this works is it's a lot like Spaces and a few other different features of macOS 10 Leopard and Snow Leopard combined. So let me pull up a bunch of windows that I have here. Here's Preview, Skype, Spotify, Address Book, and TweetDeck, and a little bit of the ScreenFlow application I was just working in. And right now, let me open it up in Mission Control. And there, as you can see, are all my applications. And I even have pages up here where I can just click to, like iCal, which actually go full screen. That'll come later, where it can actually bring up applications in full screen, and I can just swipe between them. Basically, it brings up full applications, and you can swipe between them with 3 fingers on the trackpad and just go through each page to see what's there. And when you want to go into it, just take 3 fingers, swipe up, and then there you have it. And if you want to create its own page for one of the applications you have, let's say I want to bring out ScreenFlow to its own page, I simply drag it up here and drop it off into its own page. And then there I go, I have created a brand new desktop right for that one application. Now I can go back into the previous one and bring it up there. And I do believe Expose is still included on here, but I'm not sure if it works yet or not. So that's another video for another day. So anyway, that's Mission Control for you, showing all your applications all at once and showing you how to work it. Anyway, probably one of the biggest and most heavily criticized features of macOS 10 Lion would definitely be reverse scrolling. Now, for those of you who don't know, Reverse scrolling is basically on the mouse and the trackpad for when you actually scroll up, the page will go down. And when you scroll down, the page will go up. Now, why did Apple do this? Did they want to confuse us? Do they hate us? Do they want to enslave us by making us think up is down and left is right? I don't even know where that came from. But no, they don't. What they really want to do is what I've said from the beginning. They want to turn your computer into an iOS device. That's the whole point of this. Because scrolling up to go down is exactly the same way people have been doing it on their iPod Touches and iPhones for years. In order to scroll up, you have to go down. And in order to scroll down, you have to go up. That's the whole point. And that's the way they did it. And you know what? It's actually very easy to get used to. I mean, it just takes about a few minutes of trying it, and then after a day, you're an automatic champion. The really hard part, though, is when you switch over to a PC, and then you start scrolling up and down the way you would on a Mac. But most of you don't have to worry about that because using a PC, that's like a joke to you guys. So anyway, guys, I really don't think that reverse scrolling is a bad idea at all. I really actually encourage you not to switch off reverse scrolling and to keep on going with the way it will, because soon enough, it's probably not going to be an option anymore. Another cool feature I found in macOS 10 line is called Airdrop. Basically, what you can do is you can open up the Finder, and you'll see your computer and any other Mac computer on the network. And what you can then do is you can take any average file, like let's say this one right here, and obviously I have no computer to drag it to, but if I could, I would drag it on top of it, and it would say, do you want to send this file via AirDrop to this Mac? And I would hit yes, and the other person would approve, and it would basically be replacing a typical flash drive that you would have to carry around from Mac to Mac. This way, you can just transfer files over the air incredibly easily. And it works really well. Once again, obviously, I don't have any other Macs in my house, but believe me, once I do, I can honestly say I do believe I will use this feature to the best of its ability. And so anyway, guys, just one last fun feature that I thought was pretty fun is the brand new and improved photo booth. So basically, you now have full screen viewing all around you. It makes you feel like you're in an actual photo booth, if you're old enough to remember that kind of thing. And you go into effects right down here, and all of a sudden you get all these brand new features, like here's Dizzy, or I like to think of it sort of like Twitter or something with all the birds. And they even follow your head around, which can be cool or creepy, depending on your thoughts of it. Then you have a bunch of hearts going around, and get them. And they also follow you, which doesn't get as much creepy as it does annoying. So I'm going to leave this one and go into the next one. And here's a weird one. It's called Bug Out. And as you can see, my eyes are obviously no longer proportional to the rest of my body. And it even tracks each of your eyes for you. So either way, that's gotta be cool. And so much more. It's just so fun to go through all of these and just see what each of them can bring. And believe me, I've shown my Mac to a whole lot of people. Photo Booth is probably the #1 feature you can show to anybody who's new on a Mac, and they will automatically fall in love with it. Speaking of which, where'd those hearts go? Finally, they're gone. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed my overview of macOS 10 line. This was definitely a very fun overview using my new software ScreenFlow and going through all the features with you guys. It was a ton of fun, and I really hope you enjoyed it. be sure to look out for way more to come, and my upcoming review on macOS 10 Line as a full thing will definitely be coming soon as well. So anyway, guys, remember to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/thedragonrider for content that you cannot get anywhere else. Be sure to check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/dragonridernetwork. And be sure to check out the website, which just turned a year old today, which I am so thankful for. Thank you, everybody, for not only supporting the website, but supporting the entire network. It means the world to me. And I'll be sure to try and continue updating it as often as I can. And that's pretty much it, guys. I will catch you at the next video. Talk to you then.